musicians who want to make movies. What is the difference between an insert shot and a coda? An insert shot is a very precise and beautifully photographed moment of the object that the characters are interacting with that we cannot see clearly. For instance, in a struggle, two people may be reaching for a gun, and the insert shot may be just the gun on the floor, and maybe there's blood around or something, or broken glass, but it's a moment so that the audience can clearly understand the object that these characters are reaching for. And by showing the object, you give it more weight. You're asking the audience, please pay attention. This object is one of desire, and you have to really understand the weight of it. So an insert shot has to be photographed very beautifully, and sometimes takes quite a long time to get the lighting right, to get the action right. If it's keys dropping or the gun slides or something, it can take a while. But it's not a coda. And a coda is something that you don't really hear too much about in modern filmmaking, but it's a very effective tool. Codas are from the transcendental realm of filmmaking, which is trying to use film to represent something much more spiritual or much more transcendent of the story that you're currently in. Codas are generally film shots in the opposite realm of your scene. That is to say, if your scene is two people talking inside a cafe, the coda would usually be something outside. And if your two characters were, say, talking in a park, your coda would be something inside. Generally speaking, a coda could be just something as simple as a camera looking at a flower and a butterfly lands on it, or a bee lands on it. Or an interior coda might be simply just a glass half drunk on the bar in a bar on the bar, just simply there. And the point of the coda is to give pause so that the audience has a few moments to reflect on the impact of what they have just seen. This is something that I have not used myself and realize lacking in my film narrative. I'm going to use this more in the future, because when you get into editing, you can have the problem of just smashing scene after scene after scene, and there's no moment for anyone really to reflect on what just happened or the emotional impact of what just happened, because again, there are no codas. And codas are perfect for punctuating the end of a chapter, sometimes even an act, but more importantly, inside an act, it illustrates the end of that particular chapter in the story. They can be very reflective, and oftentimes in Japanese film, you will return to the same coda. You'd shoot it differently. It wouldn't be the same footage, but you might return over and over again to the same coda, or you might have what they call an image list. You might have certain themes and images that you use throughout the film, and you return to those codas, showing time passing in that coda. In itself can become its own little narrative, but it's an excellent way of creating pause and a moment of reflection, whether it be a comedy, an action film, or a drama. By the way, it's really important to shoot a coda, even if you end up not using them in the film, because you don't want to slow your film down. I get that part. Well, I don't want to slow my film down. I want it to run. But the problem you run into in editing is if you don't have codas, you are screwed. So shoot codas. Good luck.